Hello, and welcome to the Arn and Eddie experience with actual Eddie, not four people trying to pretend to be me. My name is Eddie Sideburns. Joining me is a very happy man who has had a bit of a drink in him, Arn Furious. Arn,
Hey,
is there even much point in me asking how are you doing?
yeah, I'm fine. I'm having a very pleasant day.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing special happened. Nothing,
Nah,
nothing,
not
nothing
much.
out of the
Not
blue. Okay,
hardly anything really. Just
okay,
oh
fair.
yeah, oh we beat Germany in a knockout game in a major tournament for the first time since 1966. So we've got that going for us.
Yeah, you've got that going for us, and a big shout out to a missing German person named Philip. We hope you're okay. We hope you're safe. We love you very much, and we just want to know you're
Don't know where
okay.
he's gone.
We don't know, but anyway, we're here to talk about the second last day of or was this any second
This
last
is
day?
the end of the round of 16. The round
This
of
is the
16 is
end.
now complete.
Thank you. This is the end of the round of 16. We're now moving into quarter-final zone, baby. And the last two games we're going to be talking about is obviously Sweden versus Ukraine, and of course, England versus Germany, he says, with gritted teeth, which this kind of actually confirms Scotland better than Germany.
Oh,
But
clearly,
I digress.
clearly
I
better
digress. Clearly better.
because you would
So
0-0 at Wembley and Germany lost 2-0.
we won 0-0. Yes, we won 0-0. A well hard fought 0-0 win. But let's get into it. Let's talk about Sweden versus Ukraine. Arn, what were your thoughts going into this, and how did you think the game went?
Yeah, I thought this one was going to be tight. Sweden, the way that they play throughout this tournament has been very, I wouldn't say defensive, but they've not really gone after teams. They have looked pretty decent at the top end. Forsberg's had a very good tournament, but you've got Ukraine, who I thought were more interesting to watch, and they've just about ridden this one out. It was very tight though. I mean, I said it was going to be tight, but I thought Sweden would see it out because they got a better defense. But as it turns out, that didn't really work out that way.
Yeah, and it seemed like from what I watched, it seemed very much. I think the game obviously changed when it went to extra time. It looked like Sweden were kind of peppering the Ukrainian goal, and it was kind of a little bit of a back and forth, at least from what I saw. Again, I'll be honest, did not watch both of the games, but again, you're not here for my analysis, you're for this man's analysis, and I'm just really good at interviewing. And also
Analysis.
analysis.
You hit me sinking a bottle of red straight out the bottles. That's what
I
you're here
forgot.
for.
I forgot you heard a little bit. Yeah, exactly that too. So yeah, the Zinchenko goal, was it quite good? What was it?
Yeah, no, it's
What
really,
was the
really
goals
good
like?
take. It came across to him on the left side, and he just battered it past the defender. The keeper saw it very late, and he kind of got a glove on it, but that was about it. It was a good take from Zinchenko. I don't particularly like Zinchenko as a player, but he can play just about anywhere, so he's kind of a great utility player to have for Ukraine. So.
Yeah. And then that was in the 27th minute, and then the 42nd minute, Forsberg struck back for Sweden. What was your? I think you've got down here a bit lucky the goal.
It was a bit lucky. It deflected in off the defender, so it hit the defender's leg, and then it kicked it up, so it went over the keeper. So that was a little bit lucky, but then Forsberg had a couple of chances later in the game where he was very unlucky not to score. One in particular where he had a curling shot that hit the crossbar. That was it was just excellent football from him. He was very unlucky not to get a goal out of it. So it kind of, I feel like luck in football kind of evens out. Like you can have bad luck one game, good luck the next, and like even during a game, you just kind of the luck comes back and forth. So, and I think you buy luck as well. So like, he had the shot. He doesn't have the shot. You don't have the deflection. You don't get the goal.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if we look at it, yeah, I mean, Isak, how did Isak perform for you in the game? Was he very much a passenger, or
No,
remember
he
anything?
played quite well, but the problem with Isak is like in big games, he does find himself in space, and he does get into good positions. but he doesn't seem to score in big games. But I watched him for Real Sociedad quite a bit last season, and when he played against like mid-table, lower-table teams in La Liga, he was lethal. Like he'd take these teams apart. You could see him score 4 goals in a game. But when he was up against the big dogs, your Barcelonas, your Reals, your Atletis, he went missing a little bit in those games. Like he really struggled to impose himself in those games, and that was a little bit the same here against Ukraine. He had like one chance where he was through on goal and he didn't do anything with it. So I think it's maybe a bit early for him. World Cup next year, I think he should do well as long as Sweden qualify. I honestly have no idea what the qualifying groups look like.
I'll have a wee look at it. We'll have a wee look at it. We'll discuss it near enough when it comes down to that. And yeah, then it carried on. Then extra time happened. And then in extra time, a substitute came on. It was, if I'm correct, it was Bezidin came on. And unfortunately...
Bring in the class, Alan. Bring in the class.
And unfortunately, his night was cut very short by a tackle from Danielson. Now, Twitter has been a little bit kind of back and forth as to whether this was a red or a yellow. Arn, your thoughts?
I think it's a red. Now, I completely understand people saying they don't think it's a red because he's played the ball first, but his follow-through, he's gone clean through the guy. He's gone through his knee. And as someone who has a bad knee, I winced at that. It was a horrible-looking challenge. And when Danielson watches it back, I think he's going to realise that he deserved to be sent off for it. But like, I completely understand somebody saying like he's won the ball first because he did. But when that ball's gone, nowadays you cannot follow through onto the player. And the player was moving towards him at such a speed that he couldn't leave his leg up like he did. And I don't know what the solution to that is. I don't know if he can't clear it that way or he needs to pull out quicker. But basically, he just went clean through the player and he could have ended his career. It was a horrible tackle.
It seemed very much like, if again, it's the thing, where's he going to put his leg in terms of that?
Kenny Cunningham Marty said it was a yellow. So by when I play for Millwall and Wimbledon.
Gary Lineker also said it was a yellow. And
yeah, I saw a few people say they thought it was a yellow. In the modern game, it's a red.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's a red.
Yeah, Tony Watt also said it was a yellow as well. So it's a very... it's a very interesting kind of... Again, it'll go back and forth. People disagree, people will agree. Again, I think, as you say, it's the modern game. For me personally, I would say it's a yellow because the guy doesn't really have much choice to where he puts his leg after the whole thing. But again, obviously, it goes there. It's again the whole standard of refereeing because there's different situations, and we might go into one in the England-Germany game that kind of looked almost not kind of, it didn't cause much effect as that one. But
yeah, I think you've got to look at the damage that he's done, and I think that will have tainted the referee's opinion of the situation because he's seen the impact that tackle has had. It's like the Son Heung-min got sent off for a tackle on the Everton player Andre Gomez, and Gomez basically he broke his leg. But the challenge itself was almost innocuous. But when the referee saw what had happened, he sent Sonny off, and I feel like that's kind of affected his judgment a little bit here. I think Joao has said it quite well there. If you don't know what you're doing with your leg, then don't make the clearance. Like if you're going to go through the player as a result of doing what you're doing, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. And I know he'd probably get rinsed for not clearing the ball properly, but
yeah, it's a catch-22 situation.
It is, but if you're gonna go flying through someone like that, then I know Alan's saying the players are soft, but that was walk off a broken leg. You can't.
I mean, I wouldn't get
He went
surprised.
clean through his kneecap with his
I mean,
studs. I'm not having that. I'm not
I
having
mean,
it.
I mean, I don't think he. I mean, I don't think. I think the Ukrainian lad, will probably end up suing Hamden because he didn't get. He went around and was hobbling. Get the stretcher out. Where was the stretcher in Hamden? But yeah. And then
Really,
obviously
all
in
credit to him trying to walk off a shattered kneecap there. That was very
yeah,
impressive.
and then I think for the rest of extra time, the Ukraine just kind of went for it and just kept going for it and going for it. And then finally, the deadline was broken, just as it looked like it was going to
It
lose
was so
penalties.
close. It was so close to pens. I usually get annoyed with stuff like that because it's like you made us wait 100. It wasn't even 120 minutes because there was so much stoppage time. It was more like 130. But you make us wait that long and then score a goal. It's like, come on. We were seconds away from penalties there. But yeah, they can have it. I thought Ukraine were marginally the better team. It was very close, though. Either one of them could have gone through. I'm kind of happy for Andrei Shevchenko. Like, I think he's given a real good go at this. He's obviously inspired a particularly young Ukraine team to play well in this tournament, and they've been the more aggressive of the two going forwards, and I feel like that counts for a lot.
Yeah. And I say Ukraine go on to face the plucky underdogs named as England, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. Well, you know what? We may as well get it underway. But just quickly, Arn, is this
Yeah.
the right call you put down in your prediction, or did you think Sweden? I
I
think you said Sweden.
said Sweden would win. Again, I was looking at Sweden defensively. I thought defensively they were the better team. Obviously, you can't take into account red cards and the way those change games, but I think they'd have probably have got through. I think when you have a younger team, maybe that's going to affect penalties, and I kind of give them the edge for that. I think they got the experience for the pens that they would have got through. But late winner for Ukraine. I think they were good for it.
Yeah, and as I say, that's all three teams all three teams from the group of death.
Yeah, Alan's just right about the. It's the same as the Dutch. That red card completely changed the game.
Yeah, it did. I think that was
even though the Swedish one was much later in the game.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go on then. Let's talk about the game you want to talk about. I did not see any of it because I was out. I think I saw the couple beginning bits, and then that was it. England versus Germany. Take it away, Arn.
I think that the result is more important than the performance. And the last time Luke Shaw, man of the match. The last time England beat Germany in any meaningful way was at Euro 2000. And I watched that game in the pub in Bromsgrove at the Black Cross. And we basically camped out early, got ourselves a table, and it was so full that I had to crawl under the table and go into the ladies' toilet to go to the toilet because you couldn't get to the gents because it was by the bar. And like we'd have to go to the bar and get like a load of drinks and just kind of sat them down on the table, and then you camped out there for the game. That was just the way it was. It was horrendous. It wasn't the only ladies' toilet, I'd like to point out. We weren't monopolising or anything. Nobody else could get in there because the TV was in the way. So that was 21 years ago. And England didn't even play particularly well that game. And they won that one. I have seen England play better football against better German teams and lose in Euro 96 and in the World Cup in 1990. England had a better team and played better football and deserved to win against those German teams, but they just didn't get it done. So the difference here is the result, and the result is more important than the performance, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of they didn't start off from what you said. They don't think you don't think your team played well. Werner had a chance to begin with. I saw that. Kane, I think a lot of people were having a go at Kane throughout the
Well,
game.
Kane, oh my God. At the end of the first half, he had an absolute sitter. It just broke to him inside the penalty area. And if he'd had any kind of confidence, he'd have absolutely buried it. It was left foot, bottom hand corner. I'm doing something under the desk there. You can't see it, but it's like I'm slotting it away into the corner. He didn't do that. He tried to take it around the keeper, and that was a mistake. Yeah. There wasn't enough time to do that. So he made a bit of a mess of it. It was a problem for England in the first half. They were struggling near the goal. Kane did not look fit again. Yeah. And apart from I thought the best chance of the game fell to Timo Werner in the first half. He had a great chance down the left side. He hit it at Pickford, but he was trying to play it through his legs, and Pickford just got down low and stopped it. Yeah. Otherwise, that could have been a problem. So looking at David Baddiel goes, yes, mate.
Arsalan is loving the chat tonight. Then obviously, so Sterling scores first, shot assist. Kane scores second with a Grealish assist.
Yeah.
You beat Germany, fair and square. I say a German man. Us 2 and 2 people in the chat know has gone extremely quiet. There's another one who we love, Lucas. Love you. Where does England go? Because obviously there was a lot. By the way, I just want to say there was a lot of England chat in the Ukraine commentary, and it was getting very annoying.
Oh, tedious, absolutely tedious. But that is, to be honest with you, there's been a lot of England chat in every single game, which. Yeah. It's unnecessary. That every English football supporter that is watching the Euros knows exactly what the situation is with England. They don't need to be reminded of it every 5 seconds. Anyone that's watching in this country that's not English is probably just pissed off at this point with the amount of England coverage that there is. It's like if you got a game between 2 countries, then cover the countries that are involved.
Yeah,
is my opinion, and it happens every game.
At least give them some respect. That's the one thing I would say. And again, I think certain commentators have done it, like Emma Hayes. Some of them have not.
And it's been very hit and miss. It's been very hit and miss, and some of them have been horrendous.
England versus Ukraine. That is the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
What are your immediate thoughts seeing the England game play first and then the Ukraine game after?
I think there's 2 very obvious points that I'd like to make. One is that Ukraine went to extra time.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 is that I don't think Ukraine has the same squad depth. Mm-hmm. Even at the level that they're performing. Hey, Chris. Even at the level they're performing at, they don't have the same squad depth as England do. So I think all of that plays into England's hands. There are no easy games. You get to the quarterfinals of a major tournament, though, there are no easy games. So I'm not taking anything for granted at this point. Am I a lot happier playing Ukraine than I would be, I don't know, Portugal? Then yes, absolutely.
I mean, as I was saying, I think, every team from that group of death is out.
Mm-hmm.
Shockingly. So
group of dead.
It's England's to lose. I'm going to say it now. I think
that side, I think it is, which is a horrible situation to be in, because I would rather they were the underdogs. I would rather they were in a situation where they come up against a team, and England, they play far better when they're the underdogs because they're a naturally counter-attacking team, and they would rather teams came onto them. In that respect, Ukraine is a much better opponent for them than Sweden, because Sweden naturally are more defensive. Mm-hmm. So that it kind of plays into their strengths. You would hope from an England point of view that the semi-final, if they got past Ukraine, would be Denmark, because Denmark is more likely to attack, whereas the Czechs are more likely to defend, although they have already beaten the Czechs. So
yeah. But again, here's the thing: will the Czechs have maybe learned anything from their previous experience?
I mean, you would think so. England? I mean, big teams do, big players do. They do learn from games.
Yep. there's no football until
Yeah, we've got like 2 days. We've got like a 2-day break now. The
2 day
next
break.
game is on the 2nd. It's there's 2 quarterfinals on the 2nd. Spain are playing Switzerland at 5 p.m. on Friday, and then Belgium play Italy in Munich
Yep.
at 8. That is going to be one hell of a game of football.
Yeah.
Those 2 teams will know exactly what's at stake there. If they can get through that game, if Belgium can win that game, they could win their first major tournament. If Italy can get through it, then one hand on the cup.
Could. England have to go all the way to Rome. Oh goodness, I'm not even looking at this stream.
Yeah, I'm aware that England will come across as natural bad guys in this situation. I'm just happy they beat Germany. Anything here on out is a plus. If Denmark beat England in the semis, I would be over the moon for Denmark. I love Denmark. But we've beaten Germany. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. We've had our win. It's like Switzerland saying yesterday, you kind of missed that, Eddie, but we had a Swiss guy in the chat. He was saying, like Switzerland knocking France out, that's like them winning. They felt they'd done as good as they could possibly achieve with that. So with us knocking Germany out in the knockout stages, honestly, that for me, that's a great win. Anything else is a bonus.
Yep. And remember, there are no excuses, Germany. No excuses. Don't go on about how the fact that England are playing 6 of their 7 games away from at home in front of England fans does not work. Does not work at all. And last but not least, Scotland better than Germany confirmed, because we don't concede goals at Wembley.
No. Did really well. To be honest with you, Eddie, you look at Scotland and their tournament, you look at the teams that they played, and you look at how well they've done since. You look at Croatia and how they took it to Spain. You look at the Czechs knocking Netherlands out, and then you look at England beating Germany. That's got to make you feel better about how Scotland played in the tournament, because the group they're in was a lot harder than it looked on paper.
I mean, we were always against, we're against 2 World Cup semi-finalists in England and Croatia, so I'm not, looking back at it, I'm not completely heartbroken and upset. I was kind of just, I think we did need to get a result from the Czech game, and we didn't. But again,
But then the Czechs have gone on to look significantly better than we were expecting pre-tournament. So, I mean, they've looked alive. Schick's been scoring some decent goals. I mean, as I say, we've taken them. We took England to their limit. Like I said, Scotland's the best team England to play. I think Scotland had the best performance against England of any team that England has played so far. Yeah. And that I don't think that's open for debate. Like, England looked pretty useless against Scotland. They were stunted by that performance.
Yep. So we take a 2-day break. I am recording a podcast with a certain Mr. Will Cooling on Thursday. I don't know when it's going to go out. It's going to be a very interesting podcast from what I've told Arn already. I'm not going to reveal too much, but it's going to be fun. Oh my goodness, we're away for a while. Oh my goodness.
2 days off, Eddie. What are you going to do?
I'm just going to consistently watch that video I sent you of the French national team singing that song that's been memed about Mbappe scoring 0 goals and being memed and being pied off by missing that penalty. And also, because I know we are still a football and thingy podcast, if you've not done so already, go watch the Sopranos prequel trailer. It looks brilliant.
I thought that was the like and subscribe thing. I started pointing down. I'm like, I can't point down. There's no Sopranos trailer.
If only, but it's going to be. I saw it before I was leaving to go play softball, and I was really excited. So yeah, please go watch that. If you've not done so already, of course, please like and subscribe. I'm very glad to be back. Thank you to the 4 people who replaced me, including Mike Kilby, and a missing German person, and a Welshman, and Rian. Thank you very much.
Rian, who has no nationality.
Irish man whose country isn't even involved in said tournament, because they're rubbish. We'll be back.
Had to make friends and influence people. The Eddie Sideburn story.
One day I come back and I'm burning the bridges that we're making.
Can we just say real quick that Schalke are rubbish?
Does Gladbach only has one person in this tournament, right? Still, Gladbach only have Sommer.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. No, we kid. Right, we will see you all after our 2-day break. What day is that again? That's July 2nd. We're back with Spain versus
it's Friday,
and Belgium versus Italy, which we will definitely do a massive show on. I'm very excited for that. That's gonna be fun. And yeah, we will see you all on Friday. Take care. Bye bye.